Okay, Chapter 5, Lesson 5, Inequalities and Absolute Values. So remember when we did absolute values, it was in Chapter 3. And when we solve for absolute values, remember there are two possible answers. So just like we did before, we're going to set up two separate inequalities. The first one will be exactly like the original, but the second one is going to flip the inequality and also change the sign on the number. Because remember, when we do absolute values, one has to be a positive and the other has to be a negative. Then we're going to solve them and graph them on the same line. So for number 7, I'm going to set up two separate inequalities. The first one is going to be x plus 1 is less than 0. And the second one is going to be x plus 1 is greater than. And since there's technically not a negative 0, I'm just going to leave that as 0 also. When I subtract 1 here, I get x is less than negative 1. And when I subtract 1 here, I get x is greater than negative 1. So I'm going to have two circles, both open, but one to the left and one to the right. So basically what that one's saying is you could put any number into that equation and make it true except for negative 1. Okay, on number 8, the first equation would be c minus 3 is less than 1, or c minus 3 is greater than a negative 1. So I add 3 here, and I get c is less than 4. Add 3 here, and I get c is greater than 2. So it's open on 2 and to the right, and open on 4 and to the left. Let's go down here to a two-step one. So for number 8, I would have 10 plus 4x is less than 14, or 10 plus 4x is greater than a negative 14. Subtract 10 here to start, so 4x is less than 4. Divide by 4, and I get x is less than 1. On the second one, when I subtract 10 to both sides, I get 4x is greater than negative 24. Divide by 4, and x is greater than negative 6. So I have less than 1, which is open to the left, greater than negative 6, which is open and to the right. Same thing here in number 10. My first equation would be 7x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 74, and 7x plus 4 is less than or equal to negative 74. Subtract 4 to both sides, so x is greater than or equal to 70. Divide by 7, so x is greater than or equal to 10. Subtract 4, so x is less than or equal to negative 78. Divide by 7, and x is less than or equal to negative 11.4, which is right there. Match each open sentence with the graph of its solution set. So number 1, if I set up the two equations, I have x is greater than 2, or x is less than negative 2, which is B. For number 2, I have x is less than 2, or x minus 2 is less than 3, or x minus 2 is greater than or equal to negative 3. So x is less than or equal to 5, or x is greater than or equal to negative 1. And the last one, x plus 1 is less than 4, so x is less than 3, or x plus 1 is greater than negative 4, so x is greater than 5. Okay, so remember from chapter 3, for the word problems, we always want to do x minus the average or the midpoint is less than or equal to the range, which is the distance from midpoint to endpoint. The weatherman predicted that the temperature would be within 3 degrees of 52. So 52 is my average, so I do x minus 52 is less than or equal to 3. Serena will make the B team if she scores within 8 points of the team average, which is 92. So X minus 92 is less than or equal to 8. The dance committee expects the attendance to number within 25 of last year's, which was 87. So X minus 87 is less than or equal to 25.